Unfortunately, I won't be able to offer my usual lightning service today, as I have a previous appointment in Yonkers, New York, arranging the second marriage of Mr. Horace Van de Gelder. the well-known half-a-millionaire. As my late husband, Ethel Levi, always said, that means he's got at least 60,000 cash. But I'll do my best to have you carried across somebody's threshold before the week is out. Now, I might also mention I'm available for financial consultation, instruction in the guitar and mandolin, short-distance hauling, and varicose veins reduced.
Call on Dolly. She's the one who spins her temperament and sings the kind of man who tears her. Once she'll snatch him up, don't forget to bring the reader out and she'll catch him up. Call on
Mrs. Levi.
Mr. Kemper, the starving artist. You know I'm something of an artist myself. I do those silhouettes with scissors and black paper.
Mrs. Levi.
Here's one of Teddy Roosevelt looking the other way. I have to do them like that because I'm no good at noses.
Mrs. Levi, the train for Yonkers leaves in 5 minutes, and if we don't get on that train...
But we will, Mr. Kemper. And not only will Horace Vanderbilt give you permission to marry his niece, Bernadette, he will also dance at your wedding. And not alone either, as I happen to be engaged in finding him a suitable second wife himself. What he really wants is someone steady to clean the house. As my late husband, Ephraim Levi, always said, marriage is a bribe to make a housekeeper think she's a householder.
I know all about it, Mrs. Levi. Half New York says he's going to propose to Mrs. Eileen Malloy this very afternoon.
Which is exactly why I'm on my way to Yonkers this morning and can take on your case and knock off 4 lovers with 1 stone, or whatever it is I'll throw, will he? Oh, and well. What do you think of that? I have nothing here to pay my train fare with. Only large bills, 5 and 7.
Well, I'll buy your ticket for you, Mrs. Levi, but I just hope this isn't a wild goose chase.
And speaking of poultry, I'm also available for fresh Jersey eggs, surgical corsets reboned, ears pierced, pierced ears replugged.
Mrs. Levi!
just be the kind of man who tears her. Once she'll snatch him up, don't forget to bring your reader out and she'll catch him up. Call on.
Tell me, Mrs. Levi, what's in all of this for you?
A living, Mr. Kemper. Some people paint, some sew, I meddle. I have always been a woman who arranges things for the pleasure and the profit it derives. I have always been a woman who arranges things like furniture and daffodils and lives. When a man with a timid tongue meets a girl with a diffident air, why, sure, the tortured creatures fear on a bush, but heaven knows Mother Nature always needs a little push. So I put my hand in here, I put my hand in there, and a girl over 6'3" loves a man who comes up to her ear. Surely it's obvious she'll never be seduced till some kind soul condescends to you her power little boost. So I put my hand in there, I put my hand in here. I have always been a woman who arranges things. It's my duty to assist the Lord above. I have always been a woman who arranges things like luncheon parties, poker games, and love. My aplomb at cosmetic art turned a frump to a trump, lady said. She had a countenance a little bit like like Scrooge, but hope today you would swear the Lord himself applied the rule. But I put my hand in here. Ethel Levi, I'm going to get married again. I'm going to marry Horace Vandergelder for his money. And send it out circulating among the people like rainwater, the way you taught me. And I want a sign from you sometime today that you approve. Oh, it won't be a marriage in the sense we have one. But I shall certainly make them happy, and I'm tired, Ephraim. I'm tired of living from hand to mouth. So I want that signed.
Mrs. Levi!
Sometime today. Now, don't you worry, Mr. Kemper. We'll make that train. We'll get to Yonkers, and you'll marry Ermengarde.
How?
I don't know. One thing will lead to another. Just leave everything to me. Oh, when my little pinky wiggles, some young maiden gets the giggles, then I make my knuckles active. My says she's so attractive. Then I move my index digit, and they both begin to fidget. Then I touch my palm to bring her in a star when I put my hand in
in my ears.
I can't help it, Uncle. I love Ambrose Kipper.
And I say you don't.
But I do.
No, you don't. You leave love to me, Ermengarde. I'll tell you when you're in it and when you're not. Right now, you're not.
But I am.
You're not. Here, take this.
Oh.
I had a talk with that artist of yours.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did. He's a fool.
No.
And you're too young to be in love with anybody.
I'm not too young. I'm 17. And in another year, I'll be an old man.
Well, I forbid it. Dare to be an old maid, Ermengarde, and I'll cut you off without a cent. Don't cry in the store. It'll scare off the customers.
I can't help it. I'm honest.
Then, by Sunday, you'll go and weep for a while in New York, where it won't be noticed. Now, go upstairs and start packing your trunk. And don't get any tears on the lock. It was just oil. Cornelius, Barnaby! got news for you both. I am going to New York City this afternoon to march in the 14th Street Association Parade. And when I come back, you're going to have a mistress.
I'm too young, Mr. Vandergilder.
Not your mistress, Helen Devilish, and mine.
Oh.
I mean, I am getting married again to a very refined lady. And in honor of that occasion, I have decided to promote you, Cornelius, to chief clerk.
And what am I now, Mr. Vandergilder?
You're an impertinent fool, that's what you are. And I'm promoting you from impertinent fool to chief clerk. Any more questions?
Yes. What? Does the chief clerk get one evening off a week?
No, sir. You'll attend to the store as usual. This is the first time I've been away from the store overnight. When I come back, I want to hear that you've run the place perfectly in my absence. Now, get back to work. And don't forget to put the lid on the sheep dip. Evening's off. Marrying orders. Foolishness. 99% of the people in this world are fools. And the rest of us are in great danger of contamination. Why, even I was once young, which was foolish. Fell in love, which was foolish. Got married, which was foolish. I was poor, which was more foolish than all the other things put together. Then my wife died, which was foolish of her. I grew older, which was sensible of me, and became rich, friendless, and mean. Which in Yonkers is about as far as you can go. Oh, I know what you're wondering now. Why a man of so much good sense should be planning anything as foolish as getting married again? The answer's simple. This house without a woman would be an empty shell. And pretty dirty, too. It takes a woman, all powders and pink, to joyously clean out the drain in the sink. And it takes an angel with long golden lashes and soft Dresden fingers for dumping the ashes.
Yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh, yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life.
The frail young maid is constantly there for washing and bluing and shoeing the mare. And it takes a female for setting the table and weaving the guernsey and cleaning the stable.
Yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh, yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life. And so she'll work until infinity. 3 cheers for Bernadette. Rah-rah-rah, F-E-N-I-T-Y.
Get out of here! And in the winter she'll shovel the ice and lovingly share out the traps for the mice. She's a joy and treasure, for practically speaking, now whom can you turn when the plumbing is leaking?
That dainty woman, that fragile woman, that sweetheart, that mistress, that wife. Oh, yes, it takes a woman, a husky woman, to bring you the sweet things in life. Oh, yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh, yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life.
Get out of here, all of you!
Congratulations, congratulations, 1,000 congratulations! Congratulations, Mr. Vanderbilt. All of New York is buzzing with the news that you practically proposed to Irene Malloy. Why, the streets are lined with eligible young ladies prostrate with grief. Oh, my congratulations and sympathy.
Sympathy?
Oh, did I say that? A slip of the tongue. No. I'm delighted with the happy news. After all, she wasn't easy to unload. By that, I mean, you know what people said. Although, I thought I never believed the rumors. No, I didn't.
Rumors? What rumors?
Nothing to get upset about, Mr. Vandergelder. I mean, according to all known facts, the first husband passed on quite naturally. Just that he went so sudden. A few spoons of the chowder she made special for him and... That didn't happen to anyone. No, there's no truth in it. Just one word of advice, Mr. Vandergelder. Eat out.
Well, hold on, Mrs. Levi. You mean to say that Mrs. Malloy...
I mean to say nothing, Mr. Vandergelder. Just friendly advice. Keep away from the chowder. By the way, she's ordered her wedding gown. You should see it. Beautiful. Black. Well, as I said before, Mr. Vandergelder, congratulations on your forthcoming nuptials, and may you rest in, may guardian angels watch over you both, particularly at dinner.
Look here, Mrs. Levi, you introduced me to Mrs. Malloy, and rumors or not, I intend calling on her this afternoon as arranged.
Very well, Mr. Vandergelder, then there's nothing more for me to do but go back to New York and tell the other girl, the heiress, not to wait.
What did you say?
Nothing. A word. Heiress.
Particulars, Mrs. Levi. I demand particulars. Her name.
Her name? Her name is Money. Ernestina Money.
Well, lovely name.
Picture, if you will. Hair as shiny as a newly minted dime. Eyes as big round as silver dollars. Skin as soft and mossy as an old greenback.
I can feel her now.
Age 19. Height 5'2". Waist 47.
Waist 47?
That's with the money belt. Now, I've got arranged for you to meet with Ernestina this very afternoon.
I ain't got time, Mrs. Levi. I gotta take my niece Ermengarde to New York this afternoon until she forgets a certain fortune hunter named Ambrose Kemper.
I can do that for you, Mr. Vandergelder. I know just how to handle such things.
Then I'm marching in the 14th Street Parade.
What an amazing coincidence. Guess who's been chosen to ride on the main float, the spirit of 14th Street? Miss Money.
No.
Yeah. Well, her mother was a cash, you know.
All right, Mrs. Levi. I'll meet Miss Money at the parade, but I still intend paying another call on Mrs. Malloy first.
Oh, dear. What races you make me run. Very well, Mr. Vandergelder. I'll meet you on that bench in front of Mrs. Malloy's hatch up at 2:30 as usual.
One more thing, Mrs. Levi. Suppose I decide against Mrs. Malloy, and I don't like Miss Money neither.
Well, then, I happen to have one more name on my list, Mr. Vandergelder. A name I know as well as my own. But we won't go into that now. It'll come up by itself, all in good time. Don't you worry about that. Oh, but wait till you see Ernestina Horace. A vision, a dream.
It takes a woman all powers and pink to joyously clean out the drain, the sink. And it takes an angel with long golden lashes and soft resting fingers for dumping the ashes.
Oh, it takes a woman. Oh, yes, it takes a woman. You know, Ephraim, I think I'm going to have that room done over in blue wallpaper. Yes, blue. Ambrose, Ermengarde, we got plans to make.
Chief clerk. Promoted from chief clerk to chief clerk. And if I'm good, in 10 years I'll be promoted to chief clerk again. 33 years old and I still don't get an evening free. When am I going to begin to live?
You can live on holidays, Cornelius.
You forget what we did last Christmas? All those canned tomatoes went bad and exploded, and you and I cleaned up the mess all afternoon. You call that living? No! Barnaby, you and I are going to New York.
You mean close the store?
Uh-huh.
But Cornelius, we can't.
We'll have to. Some more rotten tomato cans are going to explode.
How do you know?
I'm going to light this candle under them. That's how I know.
Holy cabooses.
Don't make such a smell. Customers won't be able to come into the place for 24 hours. We're going to New York, Barnaby. We're going to live. We're going to have a good meal. We're going to be in danger. We're going to spend our money. We're going to get arrested.
Holy cabooses.
One more thing. We're not coming back to Yonkers until we've each kissed a girl.
Cornelius, you can't do that. You don't know any girls.
I'm 33 years old. I gotta begin sometime.
Yeah, well, I'm only 17, Cornelius. It isn't so urgent for me.
Barnaby, you might as well know right now that everybody except us goes through life kissing right and left all the time.
Hey, well, thanks for telling me, Cornelius. I'd often wondered.
New York, Barnaby, elevated trains.
No.
The lights of Broadway.
No.
A stuffed whale at Barnum's Museum.
A stuffed whale?
Stuffed whale, what do you say, Barnaby? Yes, Cornelius, yes!
Now, the first thing we do is show Mr. Van der Gelder that you're financially independent. I know, I'll find you a job. Can you dance?
I'm an artist, Mrs. Levi. I paint.
Well then, my card.
Mrs. Dolly Levi, painters taught how to dance.
Now, there's a man, do not rise and river, at the Harmonia Gardens restaurant on 14th Street. I'll give you a note for him, and we'll see if he can't have you both entered in the polka contest tonight. The prize is a week's engagement and a solid gold cup. Oh, the cups we won, Ephraim and me.
Well, hold on, Mrs. Levi. No fiancé of mine is going to set foot in a cafe.
No!
And I don't mind saying I'm surprised you have acquaintances in a place like that.
Not acquaintances, Mr. Kimber. Friends, dear friends from days gone by. My late husband, Ethel Levi, believed in life. Any place you could find it. Cafes, barrooms, yes, even theaters. Even when times were bad. Every Saturday night, like clockwork, down those stairs at the Harmonia Gardens we came, Ephraim and me.
Well, it's all very well to come down like clockwork, Mrs. Levi, but you are asking Ermengarde to work there.
The only way to show Horace Van der Gelder that we mean business. Now, you go to the Harmonia Gardens this afternoon and you say, Mrs. Levi sent you. And incidentally, tell Rudolph that Dolly's coming back. And I want a table for two and chicken for 8 o'clock tonight. Now let's get you packed.
Well, the bottom roll looks all right, Cornelius. Now hold the candle under the ones on top. Not too close. They're swallowed like they're ready to bust. Holy cabooses, Cornelius. I can smell it up here.
Let's get dressed, Barnaby. We're going to New York. Out there, there's a world outside of Yonkers. Way out there beyond this hick town, Barnaby. There's a slick town, Barnaby. Out there, full of shine, full of sparkle. Close your eyes and see it glisten, Barnaby. Listen, Barnaby. Put on your Sunday clothes, there's lots of world out there. Get out the brilliantine and dime cigars. We're gonna find adventure in the evening air. Girls in white and a perfume night where the lights are bright as the stars. And on your Sunday clothes, we're gonna ride through town. And when it's those new horse-drawn open cars, we'll see the show at Delmonico's, and we'll float the town in our world, and we won't come home until we've kissed a girl.
Put on your Sunday clothes when you feel down and out.
marriage? Oh, I thought you knew. Why, the marriage Mrs. Levi is arranging between Mr. Horace Vandergelder, the well-known Yonkers half-a-millionaire, and my employer and friend, Mrs. Irene Malloy. Although, if you ask me, he'll never take the place of her late husband, Mr. Peter Malloy. May he rest in peace wherever he is, I'm not sure. I know. Oh, it's all too much, what with late husbands and new marriages. And on top of everything else, Miss Mortimer returning this hat for the 3rd time. Same old story. She wants more cherries and feathers. Cherries and feathers! To catch a bow, I suppose. Although, if you ask me, she'd do better with a nice heavy veil. Ribbons down our back, I told her. Ribbons down our back is what we'll be wearing this summer if we were to catch a gentleman's eye. But she'd have none of it. Cherries and... Thank you. Cherries and feathers she wants. On today, of all days, when that poor, dear, sweet Mrs. Malloy has had enough on her mind.
With what, Minnie?
With the door. It's stuck.
It's stuck? Then push. Horace Vandergelder.
Oh, Mrs. Malloy, I didn't ask you that. I would rather die on the rack than ask you such a personal question. But as long as you did bring it up.
I am marrying Horace Vandergelder for one reason and one reason alone, Minnie. To get away from the millinery business. I hate hats!
Mrs. Malloy!
And I can no longer stand being suspected of being a wicked woman with nothing to show for it.
Oh, Mrs. Malloy!
No, don't protest, Minnie. All millineresses are suspected of being wicked women. Why, half the ladies come into this shop just to look at me. Well, that's why I can't go to restaurants or balls or theaters. Oh, that's all the proof they'd need. No. Take my word for it, Minnie. Either I marry Horace Vandergelder or I break out of this place like a fire engine.
But do you love him?
No, Minnie, I don't. No, Peter Malloy, God rest him, was my share of love, and once is enough for a woman, as long as it's true love, and it was that. No, not Miss Mortimer again.
Oh, Miss Mortimer, I'll take care of it.
No, Minnie, leave it be. Oh, you can make another hat for Miss Mortimer, if you like. I'm wearing this one myself.
Oh, Mrs. Malloy, you can't. Why, you're a widow, and that hat, well, it's provocative, that's what.
Is it, Minnie? Well, who knows? Who may walk into the shop today and provocative, maybe just what I want to be.
Oh, Mrs. Malloy! Mrs. Malloy! Mrs. Malloy!
I'll be wearing ribbons down my back this summer. And green and streaming in the yellow sky. So if someone special comes my way this summer, he might notice me passing by. And so I'll try to make it easier to find me in the stillness of July, because a breeze might stir a rainbow behind me
It'll be good practice for married life. Why, Mrs. Malloy, I think they're just awful, the things you're saying today.
I'm enjoying them myself, too. Now, you go back into the workroom, Minnie. I know some ways we can perk up our appearances, and besides, a bit of a wait will only make them nervous, huh? And easier for us to...
If you say vampire, I'll scream.
Vampire. And so I'll try to make it easier to find me in the stillness of July, because a breeze might stir a rainbow behind me that might happen to catch the gentleman's eye. Oh, Minnie, we'll get an adventure out of this yet!
We'll get an adventure out of this yet, Barnaby. All day long, we wander around New York and nothing happens. Then we come to the quietest street in the city and suddenly...
Vandergelder!
Is he still out there?
He's sitting on that bench. Cornelius, are you sure this is an adventure?
You don't have to ask, Barnaby. When you're in one, you'll know it all right.
Well, maybe I wouldn't, Cornelius.
I'll tell you what. Let's arrange a signal. I'll say to you, pudding! I'll say, pudding to you if it's an adventure we're in. Pudding! Pudding! How much money have you got left?
Well, not much, Cornelius. 40 cents for the train back, 30 cents for dinner, and 20 cents to see the whale. 90 cents. Why?
When those women come out, we'll have to pretend to be customers. Maybe the best thing to do is make them think we're rich. That way we won't have to spend anything. We're two men about town. Looking for hats for ladies. Good afternoon, Mrs.
Malloy!
Ah! Dear Cornelius Hackle.
Here, Barnaby Tucker.
Oh, my pleasure, gentlemen. Now, what can I do for you?
Well, you see, we're two ladies about town.
He means we're hats, and we want to buy some ladies to put under them.
We want a hat, that's all, for a lady, of course, and everyone said to come to Mrs. Malloy's because she's so pretty. I mean, her hats are so pretty.
And so reasonable, Cornelius. As reasonable as under $1 would still leave us enough to see the whale.
You gotta pay him no mind, ma'am. He's come all the way from Yonkers to see the stuffed whale, and he's all excited. Just keep an eye on that street, Barnaby, and maybe you'll see it pass by.
Excuse me, but did you say Yonkers, Mr. Hackle?
Oh, yes, ma'am, Yonkers, and forgive me for saying, but you should see Yonkers. By that I mean perhaps Mr. Malloy would like to see Yonkers, too.
Oh, I'm a widow, Mr. Hackle.
You are? Barnaby sees a widow! Oh, that's too bad. I'm sure Mr. Malloy would have enjoyed Yonkers, especially in that hat. I mean on you, of course, not Mr. Malloy. May he rest in peace. You're Catholic, aren't you? Well, don't let that worry you. I'd be willing to change. Mrs. Malloy, if you should ever happen to have a Sunday free in the near future, I'd be more than pleased to show you Yonkers from top to bottom.
Well, as a matter of fact, Mr. Hackle, I might be there sooner than you think.
Oh, really?
Well, you see, I have a friend who lives in Yonkers.
Do you?
Yes, perhaps you know him.
Perhaps we do.
It's always so foolish to ask in cases like that, isn't it? It's Mr. Vandergelder.
Horace Vandergelder?
Of Vandergelder's Hayne Thief.
Do you know him?
No!
Well, Mr. Vandergelder is a substantial man and well-liked, they tell me.
Lovely man, Mrs. Malloy, just lovely, has only one fault as far as I know. He's hard as nails, but apart from that, lovely man.
With a large circle of friends?
Oh, indeed, 3 or 4.
But Cornelius, I think he's...
Begging your pardon, Miss Malloy, what an attractive shop you have here. Barnaby, notice all the interesting doors and cupboards, and this precious piece of furniture with the low-hanging cloth.
Yeah, I wonder if your friend might like this one. What are you doing?
Miss Malloy will explain later.
Come on, give us minutes!
We're as innocent as can be, Mrs. Malloy.
No, really!
Cornelius! Cornelius!
that bench 10 minutes ago. Well, she could just go looking for me if she comes. When I make an appointment, I like people to be on time. Here's a present for you. Chocolate-covered peanuts. Unshelled. That's the expensive kind. Did I just see you talking with two men?
Men? Oh, Mr. Vander Gelder. What would men be doing in a hat shop? So, Mr. Vander Gelder, what's new in the hay and feed business? I understand you have 3 friends, all hard as nails. Oh,
What on earth are you talking about?
No, Yonkers. Why, I understand it's a very beautiful city.
And who's been telling you about Yonkers, may I ask?
Oh, nobody. A friend.
What friend?
Well, you see, he...
He?
A customer, Mr. Vandergelder. Oh, no. He was someone quite well-to-do. As a matter of fact, well, he was just in here buying hats for ladies. I mean, you might even know him, although it's usually silly to ask in cases like that, isn't it? It's a Mr. Cornelius Hackle.
Hackle!
Oh.
Ow!
Wow!
Did you say Hackle?
Why, yes.
He happens to be my head clerk, that's all, Mrs. Malloy. I demand an explanation.
And I'm going to give it to you. Why shouldn't she know Cornelius Hackle? Everybody in New York knows Cornelius Hackle. He's here at the opera, in all the fashionable homes. Why, he's at the Harmonia Gardens restaurant 3 times a week.
Impossible. He's only got $146.35, and I keep it in my own safe.
Mr. Vandergelder, you're killing me. Why, he's one of the Hackles. They built the canal.
What canal?
The Erie. The Murray. Both.
They're the same man.
Who took the horses out of Jenny Lynn's carriage and pulled her through the streets? Cornelius Hackle. And who dressed up as a waiter at the Fifth Avenue Hotel and dropped a nice sit down? Mrs. Aston, well, I can't say it. But it was Cornelius. Why, he's the playboy of New York.
Wait, Dolly.
Now, Irene, don't deny it. I can see you were taken with him just like everybody else.
Oh, Dolly, what are you saying? I've only seen him once in my life. Excuse me.
Of course.
Thank you. Whoa! There's a
Yeah.
Well, look here. If there's a man in that closet...
No, Mr. Vandergelder, you can't. It's too dangerous.
No man that hides in ladies' closets could frighten me, Mrs. Levi. Stand aside.
No man, indeed. I'm sure you'd make short work of any man, those muscles. Boy, I can see them now rippling back and forth under your coat. Ripple, 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 ripple. Ripple, 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 ripple. Ripple, 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 ah!
The last time, Mrs. Levi, stand aside.
And indeed, Mr. Vandergelder, that's exactly what the courts will want to know when you're accused of entering that closet without a search warrant. I mean what you stand for. If you don't stand for the law of this great land, I know what I stand for. I stand for motherhood, America, and a hot lunch for orphans. Take off your hat, son. Betsy Ross is black as passing through. You see him on the hill like Gettysburg. Lead that great triumph arch. If you see him as he's traveling to that great opera, stand up and march, march, march.
Has this not affected you, sir? I came here at 14 years of age, an immigrant girl from the lands that oppressed my people. And I must echo here what was said by that great patriotic American,
I take it I'll see you later this afternoon, Mr. Vanderbilt.
Certainly will, Mrs. Levi. With a certain young lady on the main float at the end of the parade. Mrs. Malloy, I shan't trouble you again. And vice versa.
Oh.
Mrs. Malloy, I can explain everything.
No, I do not wish to hear any explanations, Mr. Hackle. Just you and Mr. Tucker do me the pleasure of leaving my shop at once, or I'll send for Officer Gogarty.
Well, if you ask me, Irene, calling in officers letting them off too easy. The law courts, that's where they belong. Now, I've been adding up the legal offenses these two have committed, and believe you me, Irene, you've got grounds for at least 2 writs, a non-compos mentis, and a garnishee. Now, the main thing is to show that you try to settle it amicably first. Have dinner with them.
Dinner?
Is that absolutely necessary, Dolly?
The way things are done in the law, Irene, dinner first, garnishee afterwards.
Well, as it must be. Mr. Hackle, Mr. Tucker, you may take Miss Ray and myself to dinner.
Delighted, Mrs. Malloy. I speak for Barnaby, too. Now, I hear there's a very nice restaurant in the railway station.
Oh, no, Mr. Hackle. If the Harmonia Gardens is good enough for your fashionable friends, it's good enough for us.
Oh, we couldn't go there, Mrs. Malloy. Now, don't misunderstand me. It isn't the money or anything like that. No. It's the whale. No, it's the dancing. You see, they have dancing in a place like that. Exhibitions, even contests, and I don't know how. And it would take me weeks, months, years to learn. Mrs. Dolly Levi, 33-year-old chief clerks, taught how to dance.
Just give me 5 minutes of your time, Mr. Hackle. I'll have you dancing in the street. We'll start with lesson 7, the waltz kick turn. Now it's simple. Right foot, touch, left foot, touch, under, back, around, touch, back, through, around, behind, out, and over. Release. Release. Unfurl. That was wonderful. When I think of all the lucky women who'll find heaven in your arms, let's go back to lesson. Now, put your hand on her waist and stand with her right in your left hand and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
Look, I'm dancing! Ah! Well, I was.
Of course you were, Mr. Hackle. Take the someone whose arms you're in. Hold on to her tight and spin. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Wow, I'm dancing!
Turn around and try floating through the air. And you'll be a little more aesthetic.
Don't you think my dancing has no polish and no flair?
And what I think I'd use is athletic.
Well, my heart is about to burst. My head is about to pop. And now that I'm dancing, who cares if I ever stop? Look at me, I'm Cornelius Hackle Sport. And
and wish you were closer to. Remember that he can be near to you while you're dancing. Though you've only just said hello, he's suddenly someone who can make all your daydreams appear to you while you're dancing. Make the music weave a spell, whirl away your worries. Things look almost twice as well when they're slightly blurry. As around and around you go, your spirits will hit the top. And now that we're getting together, we never stop. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And now that we're getting together, we never stop.
Well, look who's here. Mrs. Levi. How are you, Mrs. Levi?
How are you, Mrs. Rose?
The same. Pains in my back, aches in my side, stabs in my liver. I'm fine. My daughter Fanny got married, you know.
Did she?
A year ago, last September. It's been a long time since you lived here, Mrs. Levi. Such a long, long time.
been long enough, Ephraim. Every evening for all these years I put out the cat, I locked the door, I made myself a little rum toddy. And before I went to bed, I said a prayer thanking God I was independent. That no one else's life was mixed up with mine. And then one night an oak leaf fell out of my Bible. I placed it there when you asked me to marry you, Ephraim. Perfectly good oak leaf. But now without color and without life. And I suddenly realized I was like that leaf. For years I had not shed one tear, nor had I been filled with the wonderful hope that something or other might turn out well. And so, I've decided to rejoin the human race. And Ephraim, I want you to give me away. Before the parade passes by, I'm gonna get in step while there's still time left. Before the parade passes by.
Oh, Mrs. Levi! Oh, come along. Cornelius is taking us down to see the 14th Street Parade, and everybody will be marching.
Irene, you're crying.
The world is full of wonderful things. Come with us, Dolly.
I will. Irene, I will. Before the parade passes by, I'm gonna go and taste Saturday's high life. Before the parade passes by, I'm gonna get some light back into my life. I'm ready to move out in front. I've had enough of just passing by life. With the rest of them, with the best of them, I can hold my head up high. For I've gotta go again, I've gotta drive again. I wanna feel my heart coming alive again. Before the parade passes by. Look at that crowd up ahead. Listen and hear that brass harmony going. Look at that crowd up ahead. Pardon me if my old spirit is showing. All of those lights over there to be telling me where I'm going when the whistles blow and the cymbals crash and the sparklers light the sky. I'm gonna raise the roof, I'm gonna carry on. Give me an old trumpet, give me an overtone before the parade passes by.
What have they done to you? Mrs. Levi, what is the meaning of this?
Nothing to get upset about, Horace. A last-minute substitution. Miss Money had a sudden urgent business appointment at the Mint. They ran a little short. She's helping out. She'll meet you at the Harmonia Gardens restaurant at 8 o'clock tonight.
That's the most expensive restaurant in the city.
That's why I'm so glad you suggested it. By the way, I may be a little late, so Miss Money will meet you in front of the restaurant. Oh, wait till you see her, Horace. Holland buttercup yellow with baby pink shoes. I mean an old-fashioned tune. Sweet rose so green. You couldn't miss her if you tried.
I'll be there, Dolly, but only because I already paid for the introduction, and I might as well get my money's worth. But from this point on, you are hereby discharged as my marriage broker. Is that clear? From now on, Dolly Gallagher, you're just a woman like anyone else. Where are you taking me? What's going on here?
Ephraim, he's as good as mine. I'm gonna raise the roof. I'm gonna carry on. Give me an old truck, give me an overtime. But for the parade,
nobody needs. Never. Yes, a successful business is the greatest work of art on earth. A true American artist is the man who can build this penny into 500,000 of these dollars. I put a penny in my pocket, and in a little time, that penny in my pocket had grown into a dime. And a little longer, a quarter jingled out. Put the quarter in the teapot, and I waited till the teapot had $1 in the slot. I put that $1 in my mattress, and it had a pleasant dream. Suddenly my mattress was bursting at the seams, and that's how I acquired the wealth I now possess. That little penny was the secret. Yes, that penny was the secret of my success. And that's not exactly how it happened. It's sort of true. I had a penny in my pocket and not another stew. And with my only shirt tag, I shined a rich man's shoe. He threw me down a nickel, admiring my skill. I gave the nickel to the blind man, and the blind man left me all his meager savings in his will. I bought myself a wagon for hauling blocks of ice. I cut the ice to ice cubes and got a higher price. I shaved the cubes to ice for still a higher fee. tycoons are very enterprising in your organizing, son. You must come back to me. En route to work next morning, I helped a lady cross. Her lady was, you guessed it, the mother of the boss. The boss said, you're promoted. I need you at my side. And then I met the boss's daughter, and I wed the boss's daughter, and quite suddenly she died. I bought myself an acre, a silo and a steed. All Yonkers started buying my grain and hay and feed. And now I'm $500,000. But proudly I confess that in my pocket is that penny, is that shiny little penny, is that penny that's the secret of my success.
Mr. Hackle, we've just loved looking at the lights of 42nd Street for the past 4 hours, but now perhaps you better call us a hack, or we won't make it to the Harmonia Gardens on time. Oh, look over there's one.
Oh, we couldn't do that, Mrs. Malloy. It isn't the money or anything like that. No. It's just that nowadays, elegant people never take hacks.
Hacks is out.
They all go by streetcars.
Streetcars is in.
Just think, I've been elegant all my life and never knew it.
Of course, if you want to be really elegant,
We do.
you walk. Yes, New York, it's really us, Barnaby and Cornelius.
All the guests of Mr. Hackle are feeling great and look spectacular.
What a heck there is to that acting like a born aristocrat.
We got elegance in you ain't got elegance you can never, ever carry.
Tall, bar, well-bred, a green gaiety day. Has pedigree.
Exercise your wildest whims tonight. We are out with diamond tips tonight. Could they be misleading us?
Silver spoons were used for feeding us. We got elegance in
You ain't got
elegance you can never, ever carry.
middle class.
Don't speak of it, staff warfare. We're eating of it, some were born with rags and packs, but we use dollar bills for matches and
Interbills, kowtows to us.
J.P.
Well, gentlemen, aren't you going to escort us in?
Of course, Mrs. Malloy. Barnaby? Mrs. Malloy?
Yes, Mr. Hackle?
Mrs. Malloy, as we start inside, may I?
Yes, Mr. Hackle?
May I put my arm around your waist?
Yes, Mr. Hackle. But I might as well warn you. A corset is a corset.
With your supreme commander? And tonight of all nights, our usual lightning sailors will be twice as lightning as ever. Orders! This table satisfactory, sir. The private dining rooms cost a bit more, but they do offer the best beauty entertainment.
$1, Cornelius, is all that's left.
Are you sure? Count it again.
Prepare yourself for a big night, Minnie. We're out with two of New York's best of sports.
Oh, I didn't make a mistake, Cornelius. It's only 90 cents. Oh, well, count it once more.
No, we can't afford it.
I'm going to order everything on the menu. Waiter!
You will have to move. This table is reserved for Mrs. Levi and party.
And who do you think I am? Only it's Horace Vandergelder und party. She's in my und party. I ain't in hers.
Yeah.
Mr. Vandergelder, of course, it's just that Mrs. Levi mentioned nothing about you bringing
my personal physician. That's enough rouge, Doctor.
But Mrs. Levi only ordered a chicken for two.
Chicken? Chicken's a deer.
Und Pette Midler, soup de jour und pomme soufflé.
Why didn't you tell me this was a Chinese restaurant? Take 2 bowls of rice. Now get out. Now, this money. I understand you carry respectable sums in your belt.
Yeah, $2. Only it's in my garden.
closed curtain. You ashamed of something?
Not at all. I just felt a slight chill.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so? Yeah, I'll loan you this. Now, let's order something to hold us till the rice comes. Waiter! What'd you bring? A roast suckling pig with chestnut and oyster stuffing, cheese fondue, and some lady fingers. Now, what'll you have?
Cornelius, but I'm sure the pheasants are fresh. We'll take 4, please, and a nice red wine.
Wait a minute, no wine!
No wine.
Champagne! Champagne and Neapolitan ice cream and hot house peaches! Once in a lifetime, Barnaby, give the band leader a nickel. No, 2 nickels. And tell them to play to a wild rose. We want music while we dine!
This is a cafe, isn't it? Let's dance!
No. 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 The band of elders do not dance, Miss Money. We're Presbyterian.
All right, I dance myself. Give him $2 for the band leader, will ya? And tell him to play something refined. I'm gonna do the hoochie coochie.
All right, Cornelius, I'll stand for the band leader, but promise you won't order anything else.
You wait here, Miss Money. I'll tell them to play a nice waltz. Give this to the band leader. Tell him to play a waltz.
Here is 10 cents for the band leader. Would you tell him to play?
Hoochie-coochie.
Miss Money!
And 2 more pheasants, please! Cornelius! Sir!
My purse.
My wallet.
Hey, that's my purse.
Excuse me? That's my wallet. I know it's mine because there's nothing in it. About a quarter, 6 dimes, 5 pennies, and Cornelius? Cornelius? Did he say 2 more pheasants? We'll make it 3. 4 pheasants for the house! And never mind if we don't see the whale, I'll buy one of my own! Yeah!
Ah, these shoutings. How many times have I told you not to shout? This is Harmonia Gartenscheißgott, one of all.
But, sir, she's here. The lady.
What? Are you sure, boy?
Like you told me, sir. 8 o'clock on the nose. Up pulls the carriage and out steps the lady in a red dress.
Did she? Mrs. Levi, she's back.
No! It's true! I hear laughing outside the kitchen window, and it sounded like...
It's Dolly. Quick, tell the man. She just stepped out of a carriage.
Oh, no! It's true, no!
It's true, yeah.
After 10 years, oh, Rudy, it's like old times again.
She's here.
Hello, Harry. But hello, Louise. It's so nice to be back home where I belong. You're looking swell, Manny. I can tell, Danny. You're still glowing. You're still growing. You're still going strong. I feel the room swaying for the band playing one of my old favorite songs from way back when. Song, bridge that gap, fella, find me an empty lot, fella. Dolly will never go away again.
Hello, darling. Well, hello, darling. It's so nice to have you back where you belong. You're looking swell, darling. We can tell, darling. You're still growing. You're still growing. You're still going strong. We feel the room swaying for the band playing one of your old favorite songs from way back when. So
Here's my hat, fella. I'm staying where I'm at, fella.
promise you'll never go away again.
I went away from the lights of 14th Street and into my personal haze. But now that I'm back in the lights of 14th Street, tomorrow will be brighter than the dawn of day.
Dolly Gallagher? What are you doing in that getup? You're a half hour late, and I demand an explanation of...
Ernestina.
Exactly.
Ernestina, whom I trusted.
She wanted to do the hoochie-coochie.
Well, she always was artistic. Horace, we're going to have our table moved down front. There's someone in the dance competition I particularly want you to see. Come, come, come. What have you ordered?
What you wanted, the chicken. Now see here, Mrs. Levi, about that hoochie-coochie girl.
Chicken? Did you say a chicken? Oh, no, I don't think I could face a chicken. Not a chicken. Not today. Not after what's happened.
Good, then transfer the chicken.
And bring a turkey.
What are you doing now?
Nothing. I'm just looking the place over, getting acquainted with the surroundings.
What's the trouble with you, Dolly? Always wanting to know everything, always putting your nose in other people's affairs. Anybody who married you would get as nervous as a...
What? What's that you're saying?
I said anybody who married you...
Horace Vanderbilt, look at that idea right out of your mind this minute. I'm surprised you would even mention such a thing. Understand once and for all, I have no intention of marrying you.
I didn't mean that.
Well, I certainly do hope not. Horace Vanderbilt, you go your way, and I'll go mine. I'm not some Irene Malloy whose head can be turned by a few chocolate-covered peanuts. Sure. What? The idea of you even suggesting such a thing.
Mrs. Levi, you misunderstood me.
Well, I certainly do hope not. But if I had any intention of marrying again, it would be to a far more pleasure-loving man than you. However, we won't discuss it anymore. Here's the waiter with our food. I'll serve Mr. Vandergeld to Rudolph. Now, here's some white meat for you. And, some dumplings. There they are. Whee! And, giblets. Very tender. Very, 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 very good for you. Now, as I said before, you go your way, and I'll go mine.
Oh.
Now, you start rising on the wine, and you'll feel better at once. However, since you brought the matter up, there is one more thing I think I ought to say.
I didn't bring the matter up at all.
One more thing I ought to say before we forget all about it. Yes, it's true. I'm the woman who likes to know everything that's going on, who likes to manage things. But I wouldn't like to manage anything as out of control as your household. You'll have to do that yourself. God help you.
It's not out of control.
Very well, let's not say another word about it. Have some beets, Horace. They're good.
I don't like beets.
That's good. Now, Horace, a complaining, quarrelsome, friendless soul like you is no sort of companion for me. You salt your beets, and I'll salt mine.
Stop saying that.
I won't say another word.
Good.
Except this. At your age, Horace, you should enjoy hearing the honest truth.
My age, my age. You're always talking about my age.
Well, I don't know what your age is, but I do know that up in Yonkers with bad food and bad temper, you'll double it in 6 months. How's about beets, Horace? They're good.
I don't like beets. I hate beets.
That's nice. Yeah. Dig right in. You know, the pity of it is, Horace, you could be a perfectly charming, witty, amiable man if you wanted to.
I don't want to be charming.
But you are. Look at you now. You can't hide it. Oh, now sit down, Horace, and let's talk of something else. Give it. But before we change the subject, there's just one more thing I am going to say.
I don't want to hear it. And you're wasting your time, Dolly Levi. I won't ask you to marry me.
I suppose that means you want me to ask you. Well, I'm sorry, Horace. I'm turning you down.
How can you turn me down when I haven't asked you anything?
There's no use arguing. I've made up your mind. Here, let me cut your wings.
I got a headache. I'm going back to my hotel.
Oh, no, you can't go now. The dance competition's about to begin.
Here's the money to pay for dinner. Here's $20. Wait a minute. There's nothing in here but a quarter, 6 dimes, 5 pennies, and a button. This isn't my purse. I've lost my purse.
Impossible. I can't imagine you without your purse.
Barnaby, that purse you found. It's Vandergelder's, Cornelius. We better get out of there.
What am I going to do? I've never been here before. They don't know me. Stop eating that turkey. I can't pay for it.
Horace, it's the latest thing, a polka. And there's someone in the dance competition that particularly wants you to see Rudolph move our table right down front. So Mr. Vandergelder can better observe its graceful movement.
Mrs. Levi, this is the only way to show your uncle we mean business. Now dance.
Where's that man? That dancer.
Isn't he wonderful? With talent like that, he's sure to
Gilder.
Ermengarde!
Mr. Van Gelder, I can explain everything.
I don't want to hear any explanations. You're fired. Ermengarde, what in heaven's name do you think you're doing?
I beg your pardon, sir.
Out of my way!
Disturbing the peace, assault and battery, inciting to riot, and several other equally serious violations of the laws of this city. Is there anyone here to speak on your behalf? I say, is there anyone here to speak on your behalf?
Oh, no.
Mrs. Dolly Levi, Counselor at Law.
Your Honor. The defense rests. I ask for freedom of my client and a verdict of guilty for the only real culprit, Horace Van de Gelder of Yonkers, New York.
Dolly!
The one man responsible for these grievous charges of willful destruction of private property.
Captain Joe, Vita Brust, und das solid gold carpet.
Ja.
Cruelty to a poor, unfortunate minor. Would you mind repeating that, dear?
Begging your pardon, Mrs. Levi, but if it please the court, I have something to say.
I was just going to call on you, Mr. Hackle. Go right ahead.
Cornelius Hackle, if you dare testify against me, you'll be discharged.
You've already done that, Mr. Van de Gelder.
I'll do it again.
You've done it again, too. But even if you hadn't, I'd still say what I have to say. Now, I don't know much about disturbing the peace or inciting to riot, but I do know that what happened to me today, which is the most important thing that could happen to a man, might never have happened had I obeyed your orders and stayed in Yonkers, New York. Your Honor, I'm talking about none other than love. Oh!
What? You're trying to tell me that after 33 years you've fallen in love because you take one evening off?
No, Mr. Van de Gelder, I didn't fall in love with Mrs. Irene Malloy of this city in just an evening. An hour! No! Even that's too long. What's less than a minute?
A second.
Less than that.
A moment.
That's it. I'll go slowly so you can get it all down. It only takes a moment for your eyes to meet, and then your heart knows in a moment you will never be alone again. I held her for an instant, but my arms felt sure and strong. It only takes a moment to be loved a whole life long. Isn't the world full of wonderful things? There I sat, cooped up in Yonkers for years and years, while all the time wonderful people like Mrs. Malloy were walking around New York, and I didn't know them at all. I don't know whether you all can see from where you're sitting. For instance, the way her eye, forehead, and cheek come together up here. Can you? I tell you right now, a fine woman is the greatest work of God on earth. You can talk all you like about Niagara Falls and the pyramids. They aren't in it at all. Of course, I've seen women before, but today, I talked to one! Equal to equal, and they're so different than men. Everything that they say and do makes you feel like laughing all the time, and they're awfully mysterious, too. I bet you can know a woman 100 years without ever really being sure whether she liked you or not. Today, I've lost so many things. My job, my future. Everything that people think is important, but I don't care. Even if I have to dig ditches for the rest of my life, I will be a ditch digger who once had a wonderful day.
I missed a few words back there, Mr. Hackle. Right after it only.
Takes a moment, but his arms felt sure and strong. It only takes a moment.
He held me for an instant, but his arms felt safe and strong. It only takes a moment to be loved a whole life long. you. Well, Horace, there's your life. Without niece, without clerks, without bride, and without your purse. Looks like there's only one more thing to say.
If it's to ask me to marry you, Dolly Gallagher, never. Not in a million years. Under no circumstances will I ever marry you.
Well, that wasn't it at all, Horace. All I wanted to say to you was, goodbye, goodbye.
Hold on, Dolly.
It's too late, Horace, I failed. And when a woman fails, there's nothing else she can say.
Wait.
But
Hey.
goodbye, 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 goodbye. Don't try to stop me, Horace. See? Wave your little hand and whisper, so long, dearie, you ain't gonna see me anymore. But when you discover that your life is dreary, don't you come a knocking at my door, for I'll be all dolled up and singing that song that says you're dog. I told you so, you can't. So wave your little hand and whisper, so long, dearie, dearie, should have said so long ago. Because you treated me rotten and rough, I've had enough of feeling low. So wave your little hand and whisper, so long, dearie, dearie, should have said so long ago. So long, Horace. For I can hear that choo-choo calling me on to my fancy new address. Yes, I can hear that choo-choo calling me on for that happiness express. I'm gonna learn the hoochie coo and smoke a cigarette. Oh, no, that's far away from yonder as a girl can get. So now this cold winter night, Horace. You can snuggle up to your old cash register. It's a little lumpy, but it rings. Don't come a knocking, I'll be all dolled up and sing that song that says you dog. I told you so. So Horace, you won't find your life a sad old story. When you see your Dolly, shovel off to glory. I should have said so
And I would marry you, Dolly. You were the last woman on earth. Not if you asked me a million times. I didn't need you before, and I don't need you now. Dolly Levi, you go your way, and I'll go mine. Dolly. Dolly! Oh, it's yours. Did Mr. Hackle come crawling back, have you?
No, Mr. Van de Gelder, I just stopped by for my $146.35. You see, I've decided to go into business for myself. And since the only business I know is hay and feed, I'm opening my own store.
And Cornelius has found the perfect location, right across the street from you.
So you think you can compete with Van de Gelder's, do you? Well, just you try. Another one come crawling, is it? What do you want?
My back salary for the past 4 months, $6.12.
You can't do this to me, any of you. I'll go to the courts. I'll get lawyers.
Well, Horace Van de Gelder, I live and breathe, if you aren't handsome in that outfit. So few men nowadays have the courage to wear fawn, yellow, and puce.
Dolly Gallagher?
I know just what you're going to say, Horace. You're not satisfied with Ernestina. Well, I have another girl for you, the ideal wife. But don't let me interrupt. You were doing something. What were you doing?
Getting Cornelius's money, Dolly. $146.
And 35 cents. Lost $6.
And 12 cents.
A month.
And the money my mama left me.
$52.48.
38! 48! All right. The money you want, the safe is upstairs. Straight
Money, 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 money. Mr. Vandergelder's money. It's like the sun we walk under. It can kill or cure. Vandergelder's never tired of saying that most people in the world are fools. And in a way, he's right, isn't he? Himself, Irene, Cornelius, myself. We're all fools in danger of destroying the world in our folly. But the surest way to keep us from that harm is to give us the 4 or 5 human pleasures that are our rights in the world. But that takes a little money. Now, the difference between a little money and no money at all is enormous and can shatter the world. And the difference between a little money and an enormous amount of money is very slight. And that can shatter the world too. It's all in how you use it. As my late husband, Ethel Levi, always said, money, pardon the expression, is like manure. It's not worth a thing unless it's spread around, encouraging young things to grow. Anyhow, that's the opinion of the second Mrs. Vandergelder. Which reminds me, Ephraim, I'm ready for that sign.
Don't just stand there. That goes upstairs.
Well, as I was saying, Horace, I found you the ideal wife.
Dolly Gallagher, I don't want you to find me no ideal wives. If I want an ideal wife, I'll find one of my own, and I've found her, and it's you. Get it. I know I've been a fool about Mrs. Malloy and that other woman, but forgive me, Dolly, and marry me.
Horace, stop right there.
What do you mean?
You know as well as I do, Horace, that you're the first citizen of Yonkers, and your wife would have to be a somebody. Answer me. Am I a somebody?
You are a wonderful woman.
Oh, you're partial. No, Horace, it won't be enough for you to load your wife with money and jewels to insist she be a benefactress to half the town. No. She must be a credit to you. Do you really think I have it in me to be a credit to you?
Dolly, everybody knows that you can do anything you wanted to do.
I'll try, Horace. With your help, I'll try. By the way, I found your purse.
Where did you wonderful woman?
It just walked into my hands. I don't know how I do it. Sometimes I frighten myself. Take it, Horace. Money walks out of my hands, too.
Keep it. Keep it, Dolly.
Horace, I never ever thought I'd hear you say a thing like that. By the way, it's bad him this, letting Cornelius open a store right across the street from you. Better take him back, let him be your partner.
Partner?
Then Barnaby can have Cornelius's old job.
Now, see here,
That
Dolly.
way we can all be together so we can dance at Ermengarde's wedding.
That does it, Dolly. You've gone too far. Dance at no weddings. Besides, I don't know how. It would take me weeks, months, years to write. All right, I'll dance. Front row, idiot. Go on. What are you waiting for?
Horace Vandergeld, what is going on up there?
Oh, nothing. I just thought I'd have that front room done over in blue wallpaper.
Horace.
I know the old paper ain't worn out yet. That fellow's just set up in business. Needs a good start. See, Dolly, I've always felt that money, pardon the expression, is like manure. It's not worth a thing unless...
Thank you, Ephraim.
Hello, Dolly. Well, hello, Dolly. It's so nice to have you here where you belong. I never knew, Dolly, without you, Dolly, life was awfully flat, and more than that was awfully